Hey everybody, I want to show you a really easy way to make a cute and fun game using the follower chip, follower logic. And we have here three elements in our little game. We have a mouse, we have a block of cheese, and we have a cat. And all of this really revolves around a single little piece of logic called a follower. If we go up to gadgets, we go to movers and output, and we will find here, over here in the corner here, the follower. And the follower is a fairly simple little piece of logic. We open this up and we see that the follow mode, you can set the speed at which the object will follow another object, and that will follow another object that has a tag, and you can enter a tag name here, and then the object on which this logic is placed will now look for and follow an object that has the tag name. And it's a pretty simple little thing. And then the other thing is, with the same little thing here, instead of following, you can also have it flee, in which case it will flee from whatever has this tag name. And again, you can set the speed in which that object will flee. So just using this one piece of logic, the follower logic, we can create a game where we have a mouse who will be attracted to and want to get to the cheese, will follow the cheese and make its way to the cheese. But also, when it encounters the cat, it will flee from the cat. And so we're going to show you how that works. So we got over here, we have a little mouse, and on this mouse we have this little microchip, and in this microchip we have two follower tags. One follower tag is follow, and the tag is going to be cheese. That's the tag it's going to be looking for. And so during the game, when it starts, that mouse will be attracted to and will follow this piece of this object, which is the cheese. And let's see, we want to get in there and take a look, and we see that the cheese has a tag right here, and that tag simply says cheese. Right here we have the little word cheese there. That's the tag, and that indicates that this object, which we have as a piece of cheese, is going to be the target for the mouse when it begins to be activated in gameplay to go after the cheese. At the same time, we have a follower here, and this one is set to flee. And again, we have the speed set at which we're going to have that mouse be going at, and we have the strength is up a little bit higher. That's an optional thing. But the main thing I want to show you is it's going to flee, and it's going to flee from an object called cat. And those two things basically set up the premise for the whole game. We have some other things on here, of course. We have a health modifier, and the purpose of the health modifier is to tell the mouse and give it the ability to to give damage to the cheese. So it can modify the health of this cheese, and basically, when it gets to the cheese, it will attack it and do damage to it. So that's what the health modifier does. It allows the mouse to give damage to the target cheese. And this is the mouse's health manager, and this is what controls the health of the mouse. And if the mouse is caught by the cat, and it will be sent a message, and it will the mouse will be destroyed. We'll add a count to the mouse count variable, telling us that one more mouse has been captured, and then there's a little sound effect so that we know that we've actually captured the mouse. So that's all that's on there. This little chip for the mouse. The cat only has basically just this little tag on it that says cat. So this is what the mice are going to flee from. And the cat also has this health modifier, which will do damage to the mice. And I've put a little zone here, so whenever a mouse gets in this little green zone, it will be captured and will disappear from the game. So it's a very, very simple concept. We have a mouse trying to get to the cheese. We have a cat trying to keep the mice from getting to the cheese by capturing them. And we'll take a look at how this all works. We're going to go down into play mode. And now we have the mouse going after. You can see when the mouse hits the cheese, it takes damage away from the cheese. And in the meantime, the cat's going to try to catch the mouse. And if it does, then the game will be over. And it just did. So there we go. And that's the basic game. Now, to make it more challenging, of course, you add more mice. That makes it harder for the cat to get all of the mice before they get to the cheese. There's other things that you can put in here. I have a health bar for the cheese. This way when you're playing you can see at a glance how much health the cheese has before the cheese is going to disappear and you lose the game. You lose the game as a cat. You lose the game if the mice get the cheese. So you're protecting the cheese at the same time as the mice are trying to get to the cheese. It's a very simple game. And I just wanted to show you this. This is part one. Part one is just the basic concept using the follower chip to show how we can put this game into play mode. In my next video, I'll show you how we can make this little health bar for the cheese and begin to add some other elements that will score, give a score for how many mice have been captured and so on, and flesh out the appearance of the game. But the basic game mechanics are right there, just with the follower and the flea concept with the mice, the cat, and the cheese. So first step, pretty easy to do. I hope you'll give that a try and play around with that follower chip, see what you can come up with, and stay tuned for the part two, and we'll go into some more detail on fleshing out the game. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you again soon.